up, buddy. Come on, Tuxie. Come on, Tux. Okay. There you go. There you go, guys. Morris, Stripey. Yeah, but it's raining. I can't leave your food out in the rain. Come over here, guys. Let me put it in here for you. This might protect it from the chickens, although I'm not too sure the chickens won't just come into the cat hotel. Good morning, Morris. Good morning, buddy. I love you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, bud. Yeah. You might not be able to see them, but the chickens are over there. I'm going to have to go walk them home again. I did talk to the neighbor yesterday. He's a nice guy. He's trying to catch them. I kind of figured they're hard to catch. He's got a big net. Me feeding them isn't helping him catch them, but I'm desperate to get them out of my yard. So, you know, I explained the cat food's where the cat food is. The water's where the water is. I gotta have water and food for the cats. Oh, he's working on it. Now that he understands that they are in my yard, which surprised him. I'm not sure why. It's not that much of a surprise. So we're gonna head out around 11 to go get Johnny. We were originally leaving at 10. But now Johnny says he needs another hour for packing up stuff and getting ready. So, wow, this tree just looks amazing. The leaves being wet down a little bit has really stepped up the color this morning. Take a minute to just enjoy the color. Hi, Gray. Good morning. Guess who's coming home today? Huh? Guess who's coming home today? I'm a little light on chicken, so you got half chicken and half chicken shreds. Good girl. Good girl. Another day, another breakfast. Thankfully today I'm just reheating the bacon. I finished up editing yesterday's video with Gray a few minutes ago. I usually tell you guys that so you know she's getting a lot of TLC back there with me sitting with her for about an hour a day. She's just too scared to come out in the main house. I think she would get trapped hiding someplace and not be able to get back to her litter box and where she felt safe. I just don't think it would be good for her. So you guys, I'm sure you trust me on that one. Dawn's got the bike and a bunch of drinks, Zevia cream soda and Zevia energy drinks and a laundry basket to load them up in when we get down there in that little hand truck. So we're about ready to go. As soon as we eat, we'll get out of here. You look ready for your holiday drive today.
No Scrooge today, baby.
We left 11:40, something like that, and we're headed the back roads up 421 up to Greensboro, down on 85. You know, the usual route, and it's saying 2 hours and 15 minutes, but we got to stop to supercharge. We're not going to arrive at the school at 7%. We're going to need to use the bathroom first off.
Yeah.
There is a supercharger at the school exit on Mallard Creek Church Road, so theoretically we could, but we don't like that supercharger. It's in a Harris Teeter shopping center. It's a tiny shopping center. It's old 150 kilowatt chargers. It's cramped. The parking spaces are really tight there. That would be my main reason. And it's several stoplights. It's not convenient. It's not easy on, easy off. So we will eventually get around to plugging in our stop. And I'm going to take a minute and figure out how to say what we want our arrival charge to be. Dawn doing some math, figuring out what we need to get back to Salisbury or Thomasville after we leave the school. What do we want our arrival charge to be? And we'll go from there. I'll let you know. So Dawn did some, I would say, complicated math and figured out that we should set the arrival energy to 35% if we want to have enough to get back to Salisbury, where the Culver's is for Johnny, and charge up to come home. A lot of times on the way down, we stop at the one farthest away, which is Salisbury, and on the way back, we stop in Thomasville, which is the one farthest away from the school, as we like both of them. But I haven't pressed this yet. I'm going to press it. So it's a slider up to 35, and I'm going to save it. So obviously, and now it's going to calculate and it's going to tell us we have to charge on the way, which we are. And it's going to tell us Salisbury. I'm not even going to have to. I thought for sure I was going to have to woman-splain the car and tell it we were stopping in Salisbury or Thomasville instead of Charlotte. But we're good now. I was going to say that I think mostly what that function does is for new car owners that never want to arrive under 20%. They can now tell the car that. Personally, I think that'll drive them nuts, and I would not recommend doing that, but I get it. There are some smart people that are like headed to the beach and they know they're going to drive around for a week, and they want to tell the car they want to arrive at 60% or 80% or whatever when they're 45 minutes away from the beach. And the problem is, in some of these places, you're not going to be able to charge up enough to drive to your destination at the closest supercharger to actually arrive at the setting. So I wonder how it's going to handle that, because I see people saying, oh, I want to pad it out. I want to arrive at 90% in, I'm trying to think of a spot, some far of the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and the closest supercharger's an hour back. So how are you going to do that, even like in a brand new Plaid Model S? I don't know. But somebody will be testing that on YouTube. I think they should. But I think, I'm not going to say that it's not helpful, but I am going to say that I think it's more of a make you have less range anxiety than it is useful, because you still got to do some math to figure out what that percentage is, which is way above most people's pay grade. And it's just, they'll just be guessing, blind in the dark, I want to arrive, and then they'll be mad. Because why will they be mad? Because their car's charging really slow at the supercharger. Because they're arriving at every supercharger with too high of a state of charge, and it will be slowing down their trip, and they won't understand why. Because I get it, not everyone should know all the technology with the car. You certainly can get in and drive and not have to know these things. But on the other hand, the more you know, the better your travel might be. And this is possibly not doing anything to help you travel better, but relieve your anxiety about range maybe. But we're playing with it today because it's a new feature. We'll see how it does. So how do I search along my route? I add a stop. I'm drinking a really great coffee, but I'm going to put Starbucks. Isn't that what people search for while they're driving from one place to the other? And I guess it has shown me now, I can just see all the locations searching for Starbucks, because it was showing me ones near me. So it showed the ones in the list like always. You had to click on that other button. Now it's showing me they're open until and how many minutes it adds onto our trip. So if I want to go to the one in Sanford, it'll add an extra 7 minutes to our journey. So I can see that being useful. And it does say results sorted by Tesla down here at the bottom. So I guess we can't blame Google Maps if the data is inaccurate. Kind of nice though that it did let us know that it would or would not be open, I guess, when we get there, or if it's already closed. So you won't try to go to the Starbucks at 11 o'clock at night and it's closed already. Jules is driving.
Right.
Don's going to be so happy today that you don't have to keep nagging the wheel and keep your hand on the wheel for the entire drive.
Right. That is very nice that I don't have to keep my hand on the wheel. But Jules is so nitpicky about looking forward. I can't do some of the stuff that's easier to do. And Ruby, sometimes I really look in the back mirror or look over there or read signs. And this thing, she's really quick to nag at you.
Right. So I guess what Don was trying to say is neither car is perfect.
Neither car. They both have their...
Ruby makes you nag the wheel, and Jules gets upset if you look away for a few seconds.
Right.
And neither is a perfect stress-free driving solution at this time. This little train was a gift with purchase, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, with something I bought from the Lego website. It's 294 pieces. It's called Winter Holiday Train. It's 40700. It's kind of cute. It will be small. This was the one I was looking to see if I could adapt it to the right wheel system to go around on the track. And I'm not giving up on that, but I guess the answer is short of building it and knowing what I know about the other trains I've built to go on the track, I kind of need to physically see it. So anyway, this is today's fun. So we are on 421 now, headed up to Greensboro. We're on here for 23 more miles. You know, it's a nice little stretch. This is eventually going to be official interstate road, but we're not there yet. I just looked at the radar. Earlier this morning there was a band followed by an hour or so another band, but it looks to me like all the rain is through now. There's some to the south, but I mean, could it sprinkle? Yes. Are we going to be driving through any torrential downpours? I think absolutely not. So that's quite helpful. It's not a pretty day out here today by any stretch, but we won't be driving in heavy rain or anything. So that is appreciated. I finished it, and before we got to the supercharger, I do see I need to push that together more. But anyway, it's just a cute little train. Do I think it's adaptable to be a bigger train if I wanted it to be? Sure. The tree does spin, but you have to manually spin it. I mean, it's great colors for Christmas, and it's a great coffee table train for a little kid to just move themselves around the table. And I really like the styling of the engine, so I'm happy with it. And I'll stick it in the village somewhere, and maybe I'll think about upgrading the wheels so it can go on the track. I didn't change anything about the arrival times, but I did go and add in home down here. And doing that seems to have changed the arrival percentage to home to 35%, which wasn't what I wanted to do. So if I do set arrival energy, you only, apparently I had hoped, I had assumed, I had thought that if you had multiple destinations, you would be allowed to set the arrival energy for all of them, or you would be only concerned about setting it for the next one. But it has now changed it for home and has nothing to do with the one in between, which I guess maybe in the car's frame of reference is, you know, I'm going to recalculate how long I'm going to charge you at these locations based on where you're going. I have enough information to do that, and your final destination's all that I care about.
Right.
I think for me, if I was the programmer implementing this, I would be most interested with the first destination in the list, not the last one. Or I would have allowed you to set it for each one. Or I would allow you to set a preferred arrival destination that it just always remembers without me having to come in here and do it every time. So probably I would have done it anyway, but the way they've actually implemented it. But I wasn't in the boardroom when they were talking about it, or on the Zoom call, or hearing all of the other people at the table and what they had to say about why this was the way it was going to be implemented. So, and as we know, these things get put out here and then they change over time, potentially, right? They put them in and then they get better over time. So there's that possibility. Originally, when I added home and I wasn't videoing then, it put it first and then I had to move it to last. So I wonder if that had something to do with it too. If I had put in home and then Union Deck and then set the arrival destination, or set arrival energy, would it have done the same thing? These are test cases that would have needed to have been tested as part of implementing this new function. So I'm going to go and remove home because I'm really trying to do the arrival energy for Union Deck. And all I was really doing was double checking the 35%. I will note though that it kept the 35% for Union Deck. So it says 36 right now. So it's also possible what it did was apply that to every destination when I don't need it for every destination. So this didn't change to just whatever it is. So that's possible too. Without more comprehensive release notes on this function, how is one supposed to know except by trial and error? So I guess I'm not going to tinker with it since it's still saying 32% here. Or I guess we're going to arrive at 32%, but then we're going to arrive down here at 36. So this one is just what it is. It's closed, but it's just what we're going to get there with. And then this one, I guess, is what I set before I added home. And then Thomasville is just as long as we need to be, although the supercharger there in Thomasville is at 10%, which is fine. And then home, again, at the 35%. I'm assuming 36 and 35 is close enough. But Don and I on multiple trips lately have noticed that we need to end the trip and re-put things back in to get it to recalculate to something that we're happy with.
Yeah.
And so I suggest, as a tip, if you're in the car and you're not happy with, or it's not jiving with you, you're not happy with it, to cancel the trip and then re-enter in your destinations. And I've yet to see a time when we've asked it to recalculate that it hasn't done better. So, this was another gift with purchase last year. And I think I picked it up from a seller on Bricklink and not actually got it with a purchase, if I remember correctly. And then it was past the season last year, so it didn't get built till this year. It's 153 pieces, wintertime carriage ride. Comes with 3 minifigures. I have to say that the carriage driver and the people, I think they're great minifigures. And she'll see the lamplight is black for the Winter Village theme. 40603 is the set number. And Amazon will have this and they'll charge a ridiculous amount of money for it. And then if you just sign up for a Bricklink ID, you put in the 40603, you hit buy on the list, you hit more options and change it to USA so you're not paying for foreign shipping, and you'll find it for at least half of what it's going for on Amazon, even with the $5 postage added on. So if you're ever interested in these older ones, I recommend that. And if you don't care about the box and you're just going to throw it away anyway, message the Bricklink seller and say, I don't care about the box. Can you put it in a padded envelope? And that'll save you a few more bucks on the postage. We are at 32%, which matches. On the map, it showed 11. And there's 12 superchargers here, and there is one person charging behind us along the side. Don's going to go plug in.
See.
We won't get a really good charge rate because we're not at a really low state of charge, but we need to use the restroom. And we like to stop here so we can get back here without having to stop at Mallard Creek. Just a personal preference. And oh my God, gasp. Don't remind Don it's costing him a few dollars today.
You won't spend my money.
First, let's talk about the important stuff. The leaderboard has been unlocked at this location. We can race on Beach Buggy 2 and see if we can get to the top of the leaderboard. I bet little kids love it. If the car didn't charge so fast, I'd love it too. I love Beach Buggy 2. I love Mario Kart. So it said we just got back in the car. All we did was go to the bathroom. It says we have enough energy to continue our trip. So I'm going to press OK. And it shows us getting to Union Deck at 44% gas because we cared about getting there at 35, we told it. But maybe that's been up for a few minutes because we walked to the bathroom. It is a small walk here. Not a long walk, but it is a little walk.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
I guess you can unplug and we can go.
Yeah, maybe make the next light.
I'm not worried about making the light or not making the light.
The important thing is how much did it cost me? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's just gonna, I thought wrong. $7.66, baby.
Crap.
All we did was pee.
That's right. Cost me $7.60 to pee.
It's 2:25 and we are on campus. And I just finished the carriage. Isn't it cute? It even comes with a carrot for the horsey, which I affixed differently than they said. They just put it in the carriage driver's hand, but I thought that's good. And it did give me the parts If I wanted the horse off of the reins to swap out where it's connecting, that's pretty standard Lego stuff. The scroll on these wheels is really cute. Very pretty. I made one trip into the dorm room with Johnny, and now Dawn's up there with Johnny. They're bringing out the robot stuff now. Bike in, robot stuff out. We've got laundry and clothes and, you know, overnight bag in the car, computer. The car will be pretty full because of the robot stuff, but Johnny's going to be working on robot stuff over the holidays while he's not, you know, while he's out of school. So it's going good. It's still ugly out there. They need to make it, if somebody's butt's in the seat, it's the touch screen is sensitive. It's 55 out there. It's not bitter cold or anything. It's just, you know, kind of wet and ugly. I never noticed it before, but that's witch hazel. Neat. So I'm coming down here to check out this facilities management vehicle. Johnny says they're electric. He sees them all the time. Randy Marion. I don't know what that means. Have to look up the M mountain emblem. The gentleman was in the vehicle and I didn't want to embarrass myself and him by going around front. Besides, I promised Johnny I would be discreet. There's enough room for Johnny back there, but we are full. See? Full. Yeah. The front's full, the back's full, the passenger seat's full. We're full. We're back in Salisbury. Non's plugging in. Currently, we would be at -15 to get home. We won't have to charge long, and it's a white Model Y convention. There's two on the right, too.
Well, I set 10% arrival at charge, and it popped up the message, and I cleared it before I set destination at 10%, and I cleared the message before I thought. So I'm going to go on and unplug, because I'm basically paying for this electricity here at 36 or 37 cents a kilowatt, whereas at home I can get it for 7 cents. So I'm just going to unplug at this point.
We are on target to be home at 6. Johnny and I both got Culver's. I got the double bacon deluxe, no bun. And I did ask Grok if they used any seed oils to cook the burger patties. And he said on the grill, there's no seed oils, just don't eat the bun if you care about that sort of thing. So I was very pleased with that answer. I can continue to enjoy my bacon double cheeseburger minus the bun. We killed Dawn between the smell of the burger and the smell of the onion rings.
Really?
And we won't tell you that Johnny has a concrete. I'm out of Lego. I thought 2 would be enough. That was a little over 300 pieces.
Yeah,
between the two.
So we got to make sure we bring you at least 500
I
pieces.
don't know. I'm probably good, but yeah, I'm out of Lego for the rest of the trip. Oh well. I got sleepy in the nice warm car and was pretty quiet. I'm running into Harris Teeter on the way to the house.